Hello, everyone, and welcome to another segment of Voices of Empowerment with Dr. B. I am your girl, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee, and we are here to journey through another chapter of the phenomenal book that we have been reading for the last maybe 14 weeks, 14 sessions, rather. So about 7 weeks. The Seed of the Soul, written by Gary Zukav. This book, you all, has been absolutely amazing so far. I'm so fulfilled in reading this book. I'm telling you all, oh my goodness. I am offering this book. I have offered this book as with every other book that we read collectively. I've been offering it to you free of charge. It's an ebook PDF version. Feel free to inbox me, send me messages, emails, whatever the case for your copy. Yes, we're only 2 chapters away. After today, we'll be only 2 chapters away from completing this book. However, you can still acquire your book. Yes, we are a nonprofit organization. Yes, we do accept donations, and they are welcome. However, they are not required for you to get your copy of any of the books that we read, okay? I definitely do not proceed on any book journey unless we have a PDF version for you to get for yourself. I do understand that people may not have the lucrative funds, you know what I mean? They may not have the extra liquid, funds to spread and purchase and things like that. No need. There's no reason for you to fret about that here at Voices of Empowerment with Dr. B. Okay. Alrighty. So we are going to be reading chapter 14. As you know, we are airing on multiple platforms. We are on Clubhouse, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. We're everywhere, you all. And so I want to welcome everyone for being here. I want to welcome you to our sessions. Welcome. On Tuesdays, we try to jump right in because it is the evening. I am East Coast, so I'm about 8 p.m., a couple minutes after 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I know that most of you all are journeying from work and, you're winding down and things like that. And I don't want to take away too much of your time, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get started. At any point, if you have anything you want to add to or something sticks out to you, feel free to use the chat and comment sections. That's what they're there for, okay? And I'm going to give voice to your words so that everyone on all platforms will have an ear and an insight to your perspective and your thought, okay? Otherwise, if you don't have anything to say and you just want to listen in, feel free to do just that. And I am okay with that as well, okay? All right, here we go. The Seed of the Soul. This is chapter 14, and it is entitled Illusion. Each interaction with each individual is a part of a continual learning dynamic. When you interact with another, an illusion is part of this dynamic. This illusion allows each soul to perceive what it needs to understand in order to heal. It creates, like a living picture show, the situations that are necessary to bring into wholeness the aspects of each soul that require healing. The illusion is a learning vehicle, it is of the personality. When you leave the illusion behind when you die, when you return home, you leave the illusion behind when you die, when you return home. Yet, a personality that lives in love and light, that sees through the eyes of its soul, metaphorically speaking, can see the illusion and simultaneously not be drawn into it. This is an authentically empowered personality. The illusion is exquisitely intimate to the needs of each soul. Always, each situation serves each person involved. You cannot and will not encounter a circumstance or a single moment that does not serve directly or immediately the need of your soul to heal, to come into wholeness. The illusion for each soul is created by its intentions. Therefore, the illusion is alive at each moment with the most appropriate experiences that you can have in order for your soul to heal. The illusion is malleable. This does not mean that what is created jointly within the illusion does not have an independence of the individual souls that participated in this creation. It means that there is no perception that cannot be healed, just as there is no intention that cannot be changed or replaced with another. Understanding how the illusion comes into being, how it works, the dynamics behind it, and the role that it plays is the evolution of the soul. In the evolution of the soul is at the heart of spiritual psychology. Spiritual psychology allows the personality to detach itself from the illusion and therefore to see it from a knowledgeable perspective, to see it in action. Just as, for example, an intelligence with a knowledge of modern medicine would be able to live among the populations of Europe during the time of the bubonic plague and not be affected by it. A personality with knowledge of the illusion illusion and how it works is able to live within it and not be affected by it. That is so true. Bubonic plague is transmitted by fleas or rodents. This is known now, but it was not known then. By keeping his or her environment clean, by avoiding all that attracts rodents, by practicing personal hygiene, such a person could not only survive, but also keep others safe as well. When we experience fear or anger or jealousy, we are in an illusion that is designed to bring to awareness those parts of the soul that require healing. These things do not actually exist. That is why pursuing them does not bring power. So true. What exists between souls is love, and that is all that exists. By understanding this, the personality is able to remain aware within the illusion, to accept consciously the healing that it offers, and to help others heal as well. The power of awareness and knowledge is identical in both situations. The illusion holds power over you when you are not able to remember that you are a powerful spirit that has taken on the physical experience for the purpose of learning. That's it. We are spirits having a human experience for the purpose of learning and healing and expanding and growing, evolving. It has power over you when you are compelled by the wants and impulses and values of your personality, your ego, your person self, human self. It holds power over you when you fear and hate and sorrow and fester in anger or strike out in rage. It has no power over you when you love, when compassion opens your heart to others, when your creativity flows unimpeded, joyously into the present moment. In other words, the illusion has no power over a personality that is fully aligned with its soul. The illusion is governed by impersonal energy dynamics. It is shaped initially by the law of karma. The configuration of each personality, the unconscious intentions with which it is born, is determined by the karma of its soul. These intentions shape that personality's illusion, its reality within the earth school, until they are replaced by another intention, unconscious or conscious. If the reactions of the personality create additional karma for the soul, and if that karma cannot be balanced within the lifetime of the personality, that karma contributes to the shaping of another personality. And the intentions of that personality creates its illusion, its reality within the earth school, and so on. Even after a personality becomes conscious and aware of its illusion and sets its intentions accordingly, the karmic obligations of its soul must still be met. Yes, yes, it's true. Karma is karma, energy is energy. The awakened personality understands this and therefore does not respond to the experiences and the events of its life with anger, fear, sorrow, or jealousy, which would create additional negative karma for its soul, but with compassion and with trust that the universe in each moment is attending to the needs of its soul. That's it. Oh my goodness. It is so difficult to understand this, you all, and I'm saying that from a personal space. Who, when you're provoked or when you're triggered and things like that, if we just keep focus on the fact that those provocations and those triggers are only there to show us where we need to heal. Had we not needed healing in those areas, we would not be bothered by anything anyone does, says, whatever the case. We would understand that that is that person's style. It has no ramifications on me. It has no reflection of me. That is that person. And but if we take it on and it bothers us and we're provoked by it and we're triggered by it, then it becomes our thing. And then how we react to it and whatever we do as a result of that, out of our need for healing, we then create the karma. Now we get the karma out of that reaction instead of leaving it where it is and leaving it to that person. Right. Oh my goodness. This draws to the other souls with the same frequency of consciousness. So when we stay that way in the negativity, oh my goodness, then it draws to us more people that has the same level of negativity. Jeez Louise. But with compassion and with trust that the universe is doing what it's supposed to do, we can trust that the needs of our soul will be met regardless. This draws to it other souls with the same frequency. So when we do respond with compassion, then from that level of compassion, compassion, from that level of frequency, we will then draw better people, better experiences, better opportunities. Man, oh man, oh man. It's the evolution of the soul. Each personality draws to itself personalities with consciousness of like frequency or like weaknesses. The frequency of anger attracts the frequency of anger. The frequency of greed attracts greed, and so on. This is the law of attraction. Negativity attracts negativity, just as love attracts love. Therefore, the world of an angry person is filled with angry people. The world of a greedy person is filled with greedy people. And the loving person lives in a world of loving people. Come on. Prime example, look at the White House right now. Greedy person is surrounded by greedy people. Okay. That's why he's attracted to them. That's why he's, drawing to the people, because they are of the same frequency. The law of attraction creates a cocoon, so to speak, of like energy around each personality, so that as it heals and as it seeks to heal its anger or its fear or its jealousy, the metamorphosis process into wholeness is intensified and accelerated, is brought to the center of the stage of awareness. The personality sees its anger or its fear not only within itself, but everywhere outside itself as well. If the personality chooses consciously to heal its anger or its fear, every circumstance, every encounter becomes irritating or fearful as the universe compassionately responds to its desire to become whole. As the anger or the fear within a personality builds, the world in which it lives increasingly reflects that anger or the fear that it must heal. So that eventually, ultimately, the personality will see that it is creating its own experiences and perceptions, that its righteous anger or justifiable fear originates within itself, and therefore can be replaced by other perceptions and experiences only through the force of its own being. Yes, 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 yes. However, we perceive a thing is how we will experience that thing. And that's what happens. If we perceive things through the eyes of anger and fear and jealousy, every single thing that we look at will be seen through the lens of, and will be experienced through the fields of and the frequency of. That is so very true. Just as a frequency of anger evokes a like frequency in the consciousness of those around an angry personality, the frequency of love awakens also like responses. It is the intention that determines the effect. If what you offer to others is not sensitive, if it does not support and nourish, if it does not empower but disempowers them, it will be met with resistance at some level. And that resistance will be the counterpart of your energy that seeks to disempower or to control. Separation and distance are always the result of the pursuit of external power. Within this impersonal framework operate the dynamics of temptation and responsible choice. The human emotional system can be broken down into roughly two elements: fear and love. Love is of the soul, fear is of the personality. The illusion of each personality is generated by and sustained by the emotions that follow fear, such as anger, rage, vengefulness, hatred, jealousy, or envy, loneliness, spite, sorrow, despair, grief, regret, greed, lust, arrogance, alienation, self pity, lethargy, guilt, resentment, and feelings of inferiority or superiority. Emotions such as these lead to corresponding behaviors, such as selfishness toward people and animals and the earth and the kingdoms of the earth, and using others in the many ways that humans use one another commercially, sexually, emotionally, and lying, manipulation, violence, brutality, impatience, ridicule, and judgment. When the personality is unconscious, every emotion of fear or that follows fear produces a negative behavior, a behavior that creates negative karma for its soul. Each of the emotions that follows fear can cause any of the behaviors that are based upon fear. Jealousy, for example, can result in lying or in ridicule, which are forms of manipulation, or in violence. Greed can result in impatience, which is a form of selfishness or judging or using others. If you are unconscious of the part of yourself that is angry, for example, if you are unaware of yourself as a splintered personality, you will enact the anger of that part of yourself without thinking. You will strike out or withdraw or ridicule or in some way express your anger. Your anger will spill out of your private energy sphere and into the collective energy of those around you, creating negative karma. As you encounter the results of your own anger, as they come back to you through the laws of karma and attraction, you or another of your soul's personalities eventually will learn to create differently, and so on for each of the negative emotions that follows fear. Behind fear is powerlessness. As you reach outward to fill the places within you that are empty of power, you learn one by one that those places cannot be filled in that way. Eventually, whether in this lifetime or after 1,000 lifetimes, you will turn toward authentic power. This is the unconscious way of learning. It is learning through the experiences that are created by the unconscious parts of the personality and through the experiences that are created by unconscious responses that those of to those experiences. If a personality is aware of its splinter state, if it is aware not only of the aspect of itself that is angry and demands vengeance, for example, but also of the aspect of itself that is compassionate and understanding, it benefits from the dynamic of temptation. It is able to preview the consequences of identifying with the frequency of energy that is anger, that is running through its system, to look them over in advance of living them, and to decide whether they are worth expressing the anger that it feels. It is able to foresee through its decision to foresee. It is able to foresee through its decision to foresee how expressing the current of anger in that moment will affect itself and the people around it, and also the effects of expressing understanding and compassion. That's good. It transcends time, which means that it goes to the future of that event if that decision of anger is chosen, and it determines if it's even worth that anger in the first place. It transcends time. Man, oh man, oh man. Because in the soulish space and in the spirit space, there is no time, space, time. So we can, oh man, that right there that is powerful. The unconscious personality is not aware in the moment of its anger or its rage that there are aspects of itself that would prefer to respond with compassion and understanding, but it would recognize them if it could see clearly in that moment. What of the parts of itself that suffer the loneliness and alienation that result from expressing anger? The parts that long for warmth and compassionate and companionship, for relationships of a depth and quality that are not possible to those who live in anger or fear or jealousy. If the personality that is tempted decides to align itself with love, with clarity, understanding, and compassion, it gains power. The impulse towards anger or resentment or vengeful losses loses power over it. And in this way, step by step, conscious decisions by conscious decision, it becomes truly powerful. If it decides to remain unconscious to avoid responsibility for its actions, it allows negative currents of energy to form its words and shape its actions. This results in negative behavior, and this results in negative karma. What does this mean in terms of the illusion? Negative behavior produces within others and within oneself negative emotions, and therefore more opportunities to gain power through responsible choice or to create negative karma. Negative karma means that the personality that chooses negative behavior will experience that same negative behavior from another personality, and again, be given the opportunity to decide to release or continue that mode of learning. Man, listen. This is the illusion. It is an illusion because you and the other souls that are involved have agreed in compassion and wisdom to participate in the learning dynamics of the earth school in order to heal. Man, that's what this is. So the repetition of the experiences that we have over and over and over again. It's not that, oh man, when it rains, it pours. If it ain't one thing, it's another. This is the universe saying, listen, here's your another opportunity for you. Try it again. Try it again. You got this. Try it again. You can do this. Try it again. Oh, don't worry about it. You missed it again. That's okay. That's okay. Here's another situation. Try it again. That's what this is. This is Earth School, you all. This is why he calls this the illusion. Okay, because none of this is actually what it seems to be. It's literally here to help us. All of the encounters, all of the situations, all of the people, all of the things is literally to assist us in evolving our soul. But it comes about so that we can choose a positive response. a response of reverence, a response of responsibility, a response of wisdom. Come on, a response of love and compassion. That's why it keeps coming. But if we keep choosing negative responses, negative reactions, negative, we're creating more karma, negative karma, to continue to live through the stuff or whatever the case is. What we put out is going to come back to us to choose differently. This is what he says. It is illusion because within non-physical reality, neither space nor time, nor anger, nor jealousy, nor fear exists. Thank you. It is an illusion because when you return home, it will cease to be. Come on. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to evolve. We're not here to become superstars. We're not here to become the Fortune 500 CEO Forbes list. We're not here to do that, y'all. We're here to learn. We're here to heal. We're here to evolve. Now we may acquire those things or whatever the case along the way. That's part of the human experience. But that is not the thing that we're here for. This is good. Therefore, how are you to judge a soul that is involved in this learning process? What step or steps do you abstract and say, this is wrong, that is worthy? He or she has succeeded, or here he has not. You cannot judge the learnings of a soul on the basis of how that learning takes place without creating negative karma, right? So even judging a situation or judging someone else creates negative karma for you. Man, in other words, a soul is capable of being examined and processed, just as you can ask yourself, where does my anger come from? And realize that it springs from a multitude of dynamics, some of which were set into motion centuries ago or longer, and that are only now coming to completion. That it is a current of energy within you that you are seeking to release in order to heal your soul and balance your karmic energy. You cannot try another as if you were a judge in a court for a single angry experience. Rather, you would have to see clearly that there is a process unfolding and add to that the factor of karma. Man, he says, some of which were set into motion centuries ago or longer. I know that to be true because I did a reading for someone. This was in 2021. That was the first time this ever happened, and I ever heard this regarding someone. And I heard for them that they have been training centuries to complete the same thing that they've been doing, living in this life. They've been working centuries to learn the lessons of this, that this life is also presenting. Centuries. I was like, whoa. See, what I don't want to do is do centuries, okay, of learning the same lessons. There's no way I'm about to be multi-sensory year old, okay, and learning the same second grade class lessons. I'm get me through here now. Do you hear me? Okay. Evolve, learn the lesson, okay? That way we don't have to continue to loop, okay? You can only judge that the soul is involved by its own will in the process of healing, and that it is evolving, as are you, and as is the rest of the universe. This is non-judgmental justice. It is justice that does not judge the process of the soul's evolution, except that it recognizes with love that the soul is reaching for love. That's what it is. That's the only judging that we can do, that we need to do, right? Is when we see something happening, or when we see someone, grappling with the idea of how to evolve. And if you see someone going through the same, struggles and this and then the third, don't judge it. Don't judge it. Don't put your personality and your 2 cents, 5 cents dime in there. It's not your role. Your role is to recognize with love that soul is reaching for love. That's what it is. And they're having a time. They're having a time, but that's what's happening. They're reaching for love. That's why the struggle is happening. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's a doozy, right? Because we love to judge. We are a judgy people, right? We love to judge. But boy, and can't stand to be judged. That's the thing. Man, I think I could do that. I could recognize with love that the soul is simply reaching for love. And I can be of benefit or not, whatever the case, but still send compassion to that person. It is not the way of the universe to look through the eyes of right and wrong or failure or success. That's it. Yeah, I don't subscribe to those labels either. How do you know what success is? Can you see in fullness the cause and effects of your being and of your acts and of your words? Therefore, how do you know what success is, and how can you possibly imagine what failure is? What is failure but a cause and effect? What we call failure is simply a cause, and its effect simply the process of cause and effect in action. It is wise to imagine the dynamics that we think of as failure and success as not truly existing, because they do not from the position of truth, only from the position of judgment. That's it. That's it. That is so it. That is it. How can you say what within the illusion is worthy and what is not? Unworthiness is the judgment of not being perfected. But look around you. Do you see perfection completed by each human being, except that they are in their own process perfect and worthy? It is the process that is worthy and perfect at all times. And in that, you complete the task fully. How is it possible to know what to pursue within the illusion and what not to pursue? Ask yourself, what is the difference between your essential needs and your adopted needs? Or perhaps another term might be artificial needs. What are your genuine needs? And what are the needs that you have created for other reasons, to control or to maneuver others or to gain attention? Distinguish these in your mind. Know yourself, reply, and clearly enough to recognize what is a legitimate need of you as a human being and of you as the part of yourself that has created needs for certain other reasons, such as to gain external notice or prestige or to become a distinguishable individual. Learn to identify these and then choose which you wish to live with. Mm. Self awareness, okay, self reflection. For example, is your irritation at the neighbor's noise a result of a genuine need that is going unmet or a created need? Does your annoyance with the sounds that the garbage truck makes or your desire to have the clerk at the grocery store treat you politely reflect an essential need or an artificial one? Learn to distinguish your real needs, what you truly need as a human being and as a soul, from the needs that you have adopted for reasons that are based on external power and do not emerge from the needs of your soul. Once you get a clear sense of that, you can begin to separate yourself from your artificial self. And then you are in a position to choose clearly how you wish to respond and to hold yourself accountable when you allow your artificial need to take over. Ooh, prime example. And this, I fell for the artificial part. Okay. I'm gonna tell you, this was just several days ago. I got a phone call from someone of in my past, and they were just checking up and seeing how everything was going. And they had someone with them, and this person with them wanted to. I guess he heard my voice and he liked what I was saying and the communication that I was having, and he decided to want to flirt. Okay. And so I found it interesting. And I said, listen, I'm flattered. I thank you. However, I'm not interested. Okay. I'm not interested at all. I don't know you, respectfully, no, I'm not interested. He stated, well, why? What's the problem? This and then the third. And I said, no problem, no problem at all. I don't know you. I'm just not interested right now. And then, because apparently he couldn't accept a no, rejection, he doesn't like too tough. I learned that day. He says, so what you saying? I'm not good enough for you? What you saying? I'm not this and I'm not. Oh my goodness. When I tell you he went off, I was every name under the sun. When I tell you I was everything, all because I respectfully said no. Oh, this man said, so what so you pretty much saying you better than me. I'm not good enough for you. I was like, whoa. And when he started calling me all types of names, I'm gonna tell y'all, I lost it. Okay. I lost it. I done told this grown man to watch your mouth. Who you think you talking to? Oh, baby, I lost it. So, but here's the thing. I got upset, and the reason that I got upset to the point where I got off the phone because I heard my grandmother's voice. My grandmother's an ancestor, And she's the first ancestor that appeared to me when I was 15. It was months after she passed. I heard her voice so clear. She says, remember, I told you, it's not about what they call you, it's about what you answer to that matters. And when I heard her voice just as clear as you hear mine, I stopped talking. He was still going. He was still going. I stopped talking and I was able to gather myself. And I said, okay. I told the person that actually called me, I said, listen, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get off the phone. I would appreciate it if you never call me again with this person with you. Okay, thanks. Great. I got off the phone and I sat there with myself and I said, I was more upset with me after thinking, after coming back to myself, right? Because now let's look at, we're looking at it through the lens of the either the artificial needs or the actual needs of me, right? What was it about what he said? This man don't know me from a hole in the wall, okay? Never seen my face, nothing. What was it about what he said that triggered me so tough? And it was my personality, it was my ego self. Because who you think you're talking to? Whoop, 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 whoop. And it was when I sat back and I thought about what my grandmother said. It's not about what they call you, it's about what you answer to that matters. If I know that he doesn't know me, then what he's speaking of is pure rhetoric, is foolishness. Why did I feel the need to have to defend myself and my name and reputation and what, you know, all that was ego. That would be what he just referred to as an artificial need. Because my justifying and defending my name and reputation, that didn't matter at all. Because at the end of the day, that man is going to still be who he is going to be. Okay. Unfortunately. And this was a 60-year-old man. Okay. Kid you not. It was unfortunate, but I had to sit with myself and for a moment I was disappointed in myself, right? But I don't stay in and sit in condemnation and guilt and shame. I don't believe in those things at all. Those are what would be illusions too. But I learned my lesson, and then I sat and I had a self reflection moment, and I said, okay, because you were able to be triggered too quickly in that right there. So that right there, as I saw here, as he stated here, that was a lesson for you. That was an earth school lesson, right? So now we need to work on um not not being triggered. We need to work on that, because what is that? What is that? What is that? Why do you feel the need to have to defend you when you know that that's not who you are? You know that who he was describing is not who you are. You know this. So why do you feel the need to have to defend that and explain that to people? And what is that about? So I had to take a deep dive. Ooh, I had to take a deep dive, you all. That's why I appreciate the process of being in process. I appreciate the process of evolution, because man, as long as we are living and breathing, okay, yes, I'm talking about I'm a doctor and the whole 9 yards, but guess what? Forget all of that. I'm still here in process with you. All right. All of us are still in process. As long as we are living and breathing in this iteration, we will still have areas that we need to evolve in. When we're done evolving and we've reached a level of consciousness or enlightenment, then we can leave up out of here. But until then, and it was evident the other day, there's still some process to go. All right. So we need to be able to determine which ones are artificial and which ones are actual soul needs. That was not a soul need. That was another authentic need at all. Okay. Moving forward in the book, he said authentic needs belong to the soul. Yes. You need, for example, to love and to be loved. You need to express your creativity, whether that is in raising a family or leading a country. You need to cultivate your spirit, to work consciously at aligning your personality with your soul. You need to be counseled with the impersonal wisdom of your non-physical teachers, ancestors. That's I was counseled in that moment by my ancestor, my non-physical teacher, and the guidance of your non-physical guides. Yes. These are some of your authentic needs. That was my need right there, to hear my grandmother's voice, to heed her words. And immediately when I heard it, I shut up, because in that moment I was being taught by my non physical guide. I was being taught, and immediately got off the line and sat with those thoughts and course corrected my own self. Hello. Non authentic needs belong to your personality. They are what you adopt in your physical life in order to maneuver the space you claim and walk in upon the earth. Artificial needs are the needs from which negative karma is incurred. Yes. As you reach to fulfill these needs without letting them go and bending and flowing, as you determine to have them satisfied or to use them, you can gain great negative karma. So what that scenario, what that guy put out there, he was creating the negative karma for himself. But what I did when I joined him in the foolishness, I also I also gained my own portion of that negative karma as well, because I joined him in the foolishness. That's what that means, y'all. We gotta be mindful. A non-authentic need is a barrier. Neither nations nor individuals need as much as they have. It's true. They are artificial barriers, and the purpose behind their formation is the accumulation of external power. The secondary gain, so to speak, behind the creation of artificial needs is artificial power. Look clearly, and you will see it everywhere, in marriages, in international relations, in every conflict. It is not possible for you to experience the complete emergence of your soul when you are clouded over by artificial needs. When that happens, all you can see are artificial needs, and you see them as being ever so important, ever so significant. But are they really? As you look at your not as authentic needs, can you see how they drain energy from you? So long as your priorities come from your lesser self, you cannot touch your higher self in the direct way. So long as your priorities come from your lesser self, you cannot touch your higher self in a direct way. Jeez. Authentic needs are the needs that are always met by the universe. The universe is that which supplies you with your authentic needs. You're always being given opportunities to love and to be loved. For example, yet ask yourself how many times in your life you have squandered these opportunities. Come on. Squandered it. By learning to respond to your authentic needs and by allowing your artificial ones to drop aside as unnecessary defense mechanisms, you become more open and understanding and compassionate with others. There's a natural give and take in the course of every human life. Each human being has authentic and non-authentic needs, and that is where the natural gift for the flow between us comes from in the living environment. You begin to learn to give and take as you begin to work through an understanding of what your real needs are, and learn to compromise and give and transcend when it comes to needs of those parts of yourself that are not genuine or do not enhance your development. If you see clearly through your own authentic needs, you will see that what you are really feeling threatened by when you experience an artificial need is the loss of your power. And therefore, rather than being able to address it directly, you create an artificial need that does the speaking for you. That's exactly what happened to me. I felt a threat. Okay. I felt a threat. And when I felt that threat, I was experiencing a loss of my power, my name, my reputation, my this, oh my God, ego, ego, ego. And therefore, because of that fear of the threat of the loss of power, that's what was speaking on my behalf. That artificial need was doing the speaking for me until I heard my ancestors say, pretty much, shut up. What are you doing? That man don't know you from a hole in the wall, and you're reacting to him. You're the foolish one right here. That's foolishness. It is not about what they call you. It is about what you answer to that matters. Mm, 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 mm. Man, learn to address the real needs so that you do not have to burden yourself with behavioral patterns that are not true to your own nature, that cloud you, that give you some artificial persona that you have to live up to. Come on. Oh, it's reading me for filth. Begin by truly watching your own needs and actions where they are real and where they are not. And where they are not, expect to experience a negative emotion. Work on becoming one step detached from that feeling so that you are no longer blinded by it or unaware that you are feeling it. Become a step away so that you can let it begin to work its way through you without penetrating as deeply as it does in terms of creating action and negative thoughts and emotional withdrawals and all of the other reactions it creates within you. Become one step detached from it. And every time that you are able to see it, you will become more and more and more detached. Yes, yes, yes. You will begin to be able to see the illusion in motion. And that is a part of authentic power. And I'm so grateful because in that moment I was able to see the illusion in motion. I became one step detached from it. One more step detached. And every time that I'm able to see it, I will become more and more and more detached. Ah, and when we are able to see it, see the illusion in motion, that is a part of authentic power. That was amazing, man. That thing read me for Phil. You hear me? I needed that. It was confirmation to what I learned days ago, you all. Seriously, the universe loves us down. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Chapter 15 is entitled Power. It's entitled Power, Power, Power. Hello, Celeste. Hello, hello, hello. And you said enlightened. Yes. And you said it's pinching me. Do you hear me? When I tell you that thing read me down for filth and all of the things. And I love it, my goodness. When I tell you I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. The reason that I love it is because this is love, y'all. This is love. This is love. This is healing. This is growth. This is maturation. This is evolution. This is what this is. Yes, you're going to see circumstance after circumstance come to you. Yes, you're going to be sent teachers. Yes, you're going to be sent demonstrations and opportunities to choose love and choose compassion and choose growth and choose maturity. Choose, choose, choose. Yes, such a great book. Gratitude for sharing. Yes, ma'am. Oh my God. Oh, I love it. Let me tell you something. I kid you not. I don't know which book we're going to read until it presents itself to me. Kid you not. Today, I was presented our next book. We have only two more chapters. We have 15 and 16 left. Okay. So we're going to be meeting on Sunday, and then the final meeting is on Tuesday of next week. Okay. I might be able to read both of them, 15 and 16, on Sunday. That way we get our full week because I usually put 1 week in between our studies, okay, in between our books to give us a breather, recalibrate, reset, you know what I mean? And so that's what I might do. Sunday, I'm going to conclude the book 15 and 16 with chapters 15 and 16. And then we're going to finish it. And then we're going to go into our next book. You want to know what our next book is? And yes, you can acquire your copy of the next book already right now, okay? And of course, as per usual, it is free of charge to you. Anything that we read here is always free of charge to you. Yes, we are a nonprofit organization. Yes, we do accept donations. Yes, we are 501c3. So, yes, you get a charitable write off. However, although the donations are welcome, they are not required. Okay. They're not required. Our next book, A Course in Miracles. Listen, this book right here, Circle of Atonement. I'm just going to leave it right there on the screen for about 2 more seconds. And then I'm going to take it off because y'all, ooh, brace yourself. I'm telling you, the sequence in which we're reading these books are in perfect alignment, is all I got to say. Every single book that we read here are books that are presented to me for us to read. I also have books that I'm reading on my own for me, right? But there are books that I've been given for us to do them jointly. And man, oh man, oh man. So, how do you get your book? How do you get this book that we're reading, A Seed of the Soul? And then how do you acquire their next book? It's easy. I'm glad you asked. To receive an ebook of our reading material, inbox me with your email address from wherever you're listening from. We're playing on all platforms. We're on Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all of the things, okay? Send me your email address. You send me an email at info@biancamissblee.com, okay? You can do that. Do that. Celeste on Facebook says, send it, please. Yes, ma'am. I got you. When I tell you, listen, y'all, get ready. Okay, get ready. This thing is going to break it down so that it forever and consistently will be broken. Okay, seriously. All right. Now that if you're doing it wherever you're listening from, if you're listening on the replay or in real time, do it and get yourself prepared. Get yourself prepared for where we are going. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss it. Go to my website, you all. Okay, if you want to see any services that I offer, you want to take advantage of anything that I have for you, please do that. That's what it's there for. Okay, I'm here for you. I am here for you. Whatever you need, whether it's counseling, whether it's coaching, whether it's personal, spiritual, whether it's financial, whether it's love, whether it's a reading, birth chart readings, whatever the case, you let me know. I am here for you. Okay. I also am an astrologer, so you can go and see the latest transits or what's upcoming. It's right there for you. Everything is up to date. The next transit that I will be posting will be one for April 7th. Okay. So we're pretty much, I even have April predictions up there. Okay. The transits, not predictions, transits, and what is actually happening and what's going on in the atmosphere, in the universal atmosphere. Okay. Alrighty. Follow me on socials, you all social media platforms. It is the same, Dr. Bianca Miss Lee. Okay. You all listen. This is good. The next chapter is chapter 15, and 16 is coming up. Oh, that's the final one. Chapter 15 is power. Okay. Power. Man, oh man, oh man. This chapter read me down. You understand me? I'm going to go put some peroxide and alcohol on my wounds. Okay. Because I got this thing cut me. I got to put some sutures on. Okay. But I love it, man, because I'm being pruned. I am being pruned. I'm being carved. I'm being shaped. I'm telling you, oh, this is love. These are good wounds to have. Okay. Ashe. Oh, honey, I'm telling you. Oh, my God. When I tell you I am loved, honey, you are loved. We are loved. This is love. This is universal love. This is unlimited love. That's what this is. Our souls are evolving. Receive the love, y'all. In whatever way it comes to you, it needs to be presented to you. Receive the love. If that means that we have to cut away at stuff, people, places, and things that keep us attached and tethered to our old, leave it behind. Listen, loyalty where? Your loyalty is to the evolution of your soul. That's it. That's all. Okay, family, friend, foe. If it's not adding to the evolution of your soul, leave it behind, cut it loose, because it is weighing you down and it's keeping you tethered to your old self. When your soul self is calling for evolution, it's calling for you to evolve into who you truly are, not who this place has conditioned you to be. No, ma'am, no, sir. Be who you are. Know who you are. Align with who you are. That's it. Leave it. That is it. That's it. That's it. Boundaries. That's it. I don't care who it is. Love everybody, but understand where you need to leave everybody if they want to remain how they are, where they are. Period. Love them down. Love everybody. Send good energy to everybody. But understand, don't judge none of it. Don't judge any of it. Understand that with the lens of love, understand what you're looking at. If that person chooses to remain where they are, who they are, how they are, understand that what you're looking at is a soul reaching for love. That's it. That's the only judgment you give it. And keep pressing. Keep pressing. Feel no way about it. This ain't about feelings. This is about growth. This is about evolution. Okay? That's what this is about. Get there. That's what we're here in this earth school for, to get there, to align with, okay? To be and demonstrate in this human iteration from our higher being. Get there. And don't let anything and anyone keep you from getting there. This is your journey. This is your evolution. This is your growth. This is yours. And you get there so that you can then add to the light that is all of us. In the oneness, you can add to the oneness of us all. But individually, we got to get there so collectively we can benefit. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. I'm about to go because I feel myself. You know how the church folks say, I feel my help. Okay? I love you. I mean it. There is absolutely, positively nothing, and I mean nothing that you can do about it. Don't you even try. It won't work anyway. Okay? I will see you all back here on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to conclude this amazing, phenomenal, absolutely transformative book. And we're going to give ourselves a break and go into the next book, A Course in Miracles. We'll talk to you then. See you on Sunday. Peace.